Now, in the past couple of decades, we've all become very familiar with the wines of Rías Baixas in Galicia, up in the northwest Atlantic corner of Spain, particularly those wines made from the Albarino grape variety. But there are other appellations in Galicia, and there are other varieties as well, grape varieties. Godello is a very good white variety, and Mencia, same grape as Portugal's Jaén, is making some very good red wines. Our wine of the week this week comes from a company called Virgen del Galir, or Virgin of Galir, a company actually owned by Cuni, the big Rioja company. And this wine is a single vineyard wine from very high altitude vineyards, 750 metres, and very old vines planted in 1958. So this is a bit special. We've got wines that start around the £10 mark. This one, £25 from Primitus Fine Wines. There are some other stockists too, which I'll put at the end of the video. So it is Mencia, aged in older oak barrels, only 6 barrels of this wine made, so quite a kind of rarity in its way. And on the nose, it's a 2020 vintage, so it has a little bit of age too. On the nose, well, it's fermented with wild yeast, and that gives a kind of earthiness to this. There's also quite a warmth to the colour. And it has lots of spice, lots of berries, lots of kind of floral aspects going on too. Really quite an interesting wine, somewhere between the Northern Rhone and Burgundian style, if I'm trying to pinpoint it for you. Then in the mouth, well, Mencia always has very good acidity, as has this. There's a clarity to it, and that really nicely kind of cuts through and extends the finish through that mid palate, which is a little bit richer, has that oak, has that berry fruit, and has that little bit of age on it too for a 2020, to end up with a wine which is quite long, spicy, fresh, and fruity in the finish. It's a very interesting wine, a savoury wine, a wine that will match certainly with game foods, game meats, I would think, everything from kind of duck or pheasant or the game birds through to a piece of venison would match with all of those. So this is the Virgen del Galir. It is their As Ermitas single vineyard top Mencia, priced at £25 and available from Primitus Fine Wine and other stockists. It is my wine of the week.